Let your bodies drop into the surface that you are lying upon. Create the most comfortable platform or position that you can. Recognize where your body is in space right now. This is our Gentle Therapeutic Yoga practice. And just like all of our practices, the only thing that you have to do is breathe. That's it. That's simple. And yet, interestingly, it may be very difficult for us to let go of the agendas, to let go of all the things that you think that you should be doing right now, to just allow yourself to drop. To drop into your breath. Feel the sensation of your head resting back into your mat. Feel the sensation of your shoulders. Notice right to left. Notice evenness if possible. They can shift, adjust as you need to. Feel how the arms are just lying and resting, and there's no need for effort or holding. Just let them drop. Feel how the hips are placed on the mat. Feel how the legs are stretched out, thighs, calves, your ankles on the mat, and your feet resting outward. Just notice. Notice where you are in space and bring your awareness to your breath. Mouth closed, breathing through the nose. Feel the sensation. The sensation of this breath that is soft and smooth. No need to force or push. Just listen to it. Everything about your practice today is about paying attention. So as you're lying, resting, breathing gently in and out, that is the only thing that you have to do. We bring our awareness to the subtlety of your breath. And if you will, let's recognize areas in your body that are being moved while you breathe. You can bring your right hand onto your lower abdomen with your elbow resting on the mat, and just feel, if you will, with your right hand on your lower belly, right elbow resting on the mat. Notice that when you inhale, the belly rises, and when you exhale, the belly falls. Inhale, the belly rises. Exhale, the belly falls. No need to force or push, just notice the sensation of movement, so gentle. When you inhale, belly expands outward. When you exhale, belly drops down. Keep breathing. The diaphragm is contracting. This diaphragm rests and it's positioned right inside your rib cage, dividing your chest cavity from your abdominal cavity. And when the message comes from your nervous system for it to contract, it creates space in your chest cavity for the lungs to expand. Meanwhile, it's pressing down upon your abdominal contents. And that's why the belly expands outward when you are relaxed in your abdomen. Bring your left hand to your left rib cage. Once again, the left elbow resting, just like the right elbow resting on the mat, your shoulders relaxed. So that when you inhale, you'll notice the belly rising and the rib cage expands outward. And when you exhale, everything drops, collapsing down. Inhale, feel the expansion. And exhale, feel everything drop. Inhale, feel the expansion. Exhale, feel everything dropping. And now bring your right hand to your chest, upper chest, and just notice how when you inhale, the belly rises, the ribs expand, and the chest very gently rises. You exhale, everything drops, everything falls. You can let everything go. Inhaling, feeling expansion of the belly, the ribs, the chest, and when you exhale, everything drops down. Just lie and rest in this supported position. Feel the sensation of expansion as you inhale and the sensation of letting go as you exhale. For the purposes of this practice, we will focus our attention on the maintenance of smooth, gentle, rhythmic breath. Keeping smooth, gentle, and rhythmic breathing as your focal point. Everything else about this practice is optional. The only thing you have to do is breathe with awareness. Pay attention. This practice will help you to identify moments when you might be overwhelmed or working too hard. For the purposes of our learning today, I want us to have an experience of the softness of movement, of an attention to breath that can help us to recognize that sometimes more is just more. It's not always better. Sometimes pushing harder keeps us spinning our wheels when we can soften in our approach, our perspective, and in this practice, we softened in the breath and we allow the breath to be our anchor, to be our measure. We use the breath to help us to know how much to do today. As we can every day, pay attention to your everyday. Notice when you're holding your breath. It's a sign that you're probably doing too much or you are overwhelmed. Stop. Breathe. Continue what you're doing with a focused awareness on maintaining smoothness in your breath. For the duration of this work now, some of you are going to keep yourself exactly where you are, resting comfortably and breathing smoothly and gently. And some of you are going to join me as I lead us through a gentle, breath-centered movement awareness practice. So as you're lying down with your focus on your breath, gently bring your right knee into your chest, holding on with your arms, lengthening your left leg away from your body. Feel the sensation of stretch along the back of that right hip. Breathe, feel the sensation along the front of that left thigh. And when you're ready, take the left arm as you're breathing to that right thigh, put the right hand on the mat, breathe, and slowly invite that right thigh to move across your body, only moving as far as it is comfortable for you. And you can keep that sensation of smooth, rhythmic breathing. Inhaling and exhaling. You might choose to look over the right shoulder and only pulling your leg as far across your body as you can breathe smoothly. Inhaling and exhaling. And then when you're ready, invite that right thigh to come back to your center. At this time, as you're resting back, take your yoga strap, breathing, and take the yoga strap to loop it around the ball of your right foot. We're going to straighten the left leg out as straight as it can go, straighten the right knee out as straight as it can go, and press the heel away from your center. Firm the thighs and invite that right thigh to move as close as it will towards your nose. I know, it doesn't matter how far, but do feel the stretch. Breathing 1, breathing 2, breathing 3, breathing 4, and breathing 5. Remembering that all of our movements are optional, but if it's honorable to you and you can breathe, take both straps into the right hand. Place the left hand on your left pelvis to keep it anchored firmly. Firm that left buttock. Invite that right thigh to move out to the side to give a stretch of the inner thighs of that right leg and thigh. Look over the left shoulder as you're breathing, pressing energetically away from your center. Breathe 1. Feel the stretch as you are breathing. 2. Breathe 3. Breathe 4. Breathe 5. Inhaling and exhaling, invite that right thigh to come back center, and then switch hands with the strap. Allow that right thigh to slowly begin to cross the midline towards the left. Feel the stretch. Your hips are still somewhat level on the mat as you breathe. This is the introduction to this position. Some of us will stay here, and others will say, I'm letting my right thigh go as far as it'll go across. Looking over that right shoulder. Breathe 1. Breathe 2. Breathe 3. Breathe 4. Breathe 5. Keep breathing as you inhale. Allow the thigh to come back to vertical. Exhale, hold, and at this time you can practice keeping the breath soft and smooth while you do something that creates more effort. We're going to climb up the strap, pressing the left leg into the mat, firming the left buttock, lifting your head and your shoulders and using the muscles strengthen your abdomen and your arms. Breathe 2. Breathe 3. See if you can keep the softness of your breath. Breathe 4. Practicing maintaining calm. Breathe 5. In the midst of the chaos of all of that work, slowly lower the head and shoulders. Very gently now, we're going to bend that right knee, removing the strap. Some of you will take that right ankle and place it over the left front of your left thigh and hold for a moment of external rotation below the knee. Some will put it above the knee. And from this position, you might choose to bend that left knee. And as you're doing so, giving your hips an opportunity to stay level. You could stay right here or left knee straight, breathe. And some of you who know this posture, our figure 4 supine hip stretch, we will then possibly invite that left thigh up into your chest. Listen carefully to the sensation of support, your head, your shoulders somewhat level on the mat. Breathe. Your breath helping you to know if you lift that thigh up and you can't breathe, then it's probably too much for you, and you take that thigh to where you can breathe, inhaling and exhaling. Find that place. Each of us will be in a unique position to honor our bodies, remembering that more is just more. It's not always better. Inhaling and exhaling. Just take yourself to where you can breathe, where the muscles feel a stretch, where the joints feel comfortable. Inhaling and exhaling, slowly lower. The left foot comes back down if it was lifted. If the right leg crossed over, we release it. And bringing both knees back to a gentle bend if that is honorable to you, where we now will invite the left knee up into your chest, hugging it in close, shoulders back and down. The right leg straightens out on the mat, firming the right buttock, hugging the left knee in. Breathe. Now, some of us will feel more comfortable if that right knee stays bent. You'll know what's right for you. Breathe based upon your ability to breathe smoothly, to feel the stretch that's just enough, but not so much that it impacts your ability to breathe. Taking the right hand to your left thigh, breathing. The left hand rests on the mat next to you, and we invite that left thigh to cross your midline. And if it honors you, you move to the place where you feel a stretch, should feel good, should be breathable. Looking over the left shoulder, inhale and exhale, 1. Breathe, 2. Breathe, 3. Breathe, 4. Breathe, 5. Inhaling and exhaling, allowing that left thigh to come back to center. Finding your straps as we inhale and exhale, looping the strap around that left foot. Stretching that left leg as straight as it'll go. Breathe. The right leg stretches out on the mat. We firm the thigh muscles, lifting the toes towards your nose. Breathe. Inhaling and exhaling as we hold a big stretch along the back of that left thigh, maybe the calf muscle. Breathe, 1. Breathe, 2. Use the breath to help us know how much to do. Breathe, 3. Because we want to feel a stretch, firm the muscles in the front of the thigh. Breathe, 4. But we also want to encourage the nervous system. Breathe, 5. To have confidence, to trust what we are doing. When we support our body and we breathe effectively, efficiently, the nervous system says thank you. And the nervous system knows that it can relax and allow you to reach the goal of improved flexibility or strength, and or both. Here we go. Right hand on your right hip, pelvis area. The left hand holds on to both straps, and we begin to invite both the left hand, the left thigh out to the side. Breathe. Looking over now as we energize through the feet, feel a stretch through the inner thighs, looking over your right shoulder. Firm the buttock muscles, stretch the legs away from your center. Breathe, 1. Releasing shoulders, moving them towards your pelvis. Breathe, 2. Make a muscle at the front thighs, quadriceps active. Breathe, 3. Breathe, 4. Breathe, 5. Strong through the legs as you inhale and exhale. Notice we want to keep the breath smooth as you are transitioning back to center, bringing that left thigh back to vertical. When you switch from one position to the next, keep breathing. Hold on to both straps with the right hand. Invite that left thigh to move gently across your midline. Hold. Our transitions should maintain smooth breathing, just like when we're holding the position. Those of you who choose to invite that left thigh to keep crossing over the midline, looking over the left shoulder, breathe, 1. Keep your attention, firm the thighs, breathe, 2. On maintenance of smooth and rhythmic breathing, 3. Breathe 4. Breathe 5. Keep breathing as you inhale. Allow the thighs to come back to vertical. Exhale. Keep the breath smooth as you take both straps into your hands and lift your head, lift your shoulders. Breathe 1. We're firming the thighs. Breathe 2. We're doing something that's not easy. Breathe 3. But we're maintaining the smoothness in our breath as we lift our head, lift our shoulders, feel the abdominals. Breathe 4. Feel the arm muscles working. And breathe 5. And then slowly lowering your head and shoulders down. Breathe. Slowly releasing that left foot from the strap. Breathe. We dorsiflex that left ankle. We bend that left knee. And if you choose, we place that left ankle over the lower part of your leg. Breathe, externally rotating the hips. Check the hips for levelness. Some of you will cross that left ankle above the knee over the lower part of your right thigh. And some who are holding here, breathing, may be feeling a stretch that feels different. Others will begin to bend that right knee, bend to the degree that you can breathe. And if it's honorable for you, lift that right thigh up into your chest. Pay attention to your breath. Pay attention to the position of your head and your shoulders. You want your head and shoulders to rest comfortably on the mat. Breathe 1. Whichever position you choose, breathe 2. Wherever you are, breathe 3. There's a sensation that the left hip opens outward. Breathe 4. Moving away from your body. That external rotation. Breathe 5. And the stretch that you might feel through the hip socket, through the back of that hip. So many opportunities for mobility. Keep breathing. You slowly lower that right foot down onto the mat, inhaling and exhaling if it was lifted. Uncrossing that left ankle from your right thigh. Breathe. Bending both knees now as we move into our 3-positioned bridge posture. You're lying on your back as you're breathing. Feet parallel, about hip distance apart. Wide fingers and palms, pressing the palms into the mat, shimmying the shoulders away from your ears. Head pressing into the mat, breathe. Press the arms firmly and the hands firmly into the mat, breathe. Press the feet firmly into the mat as you breathe. Squeeze the buttocks as you're breathing. And if you can still breathe while you're doing all of that, squeeze the buttocks and lift the hips. Hold, breathe. 1, you're holding steady in your position. Breathe 2, feet strong into the mat. Breathe 3, shoulders, arms, hands, wrists firmly pushing into the mat. Breathe 4, feet, thighs, buttocks anchoring. Extensors of your spine working. Breathe 5. Keep the arms and legs working as you slowly lower the hips down. Breathing. That was our position number 1. For our 3 positions, you can choose to stay exactly where you are, do the exact same things, and breathe. Some of us will lengthen the legs away, so stepping the feet away from your buttocks, lengthening the legs to create an opportunity for the hamstrings and gastrocs to work and the feet muscles to work a little bit more differently. Press through the arms as you're breathing, press through the feet, squeeze the buttocks. Very gently lift your hips. This is our bridge pose that's extended with the longer legs. Breathe 1. Notice the sensation, pretty similar. Breathe 2. But just a little bit different. Breathe 3. Press through the arms, press through the feet, firm the buttocks. Breathe 4. Keep the smoothness of your breath. Breathe 5. And then slowly lower your hips down as you breathe. Once the hips come down, you can stay where you were or step the feet back to where you started or step the feet even closer to your buttocks. Let them be even. Press through your hands as you breathe. Firm the buttocks. Breathe. Lift your hips. Shimmy the shoulders away from your ears. Hold and breathe. Steady and rhythmic as you inhale and exhale. Breathe. 1. Breathe 2. Everything should be breathable. Breathe 3. An approach to life. Breathe 4. When you're contemplating something that you should be doing, breathe 5. Ask yourself, can I breathe while I'm doing it? Slow lower. And if you notice that you can't, don't take that as a sign that, well, then I should never even try. Breathe, rest your body down, but create the opportunities for yourself to train. Train your mind, your body, and your spirit. Maybe you need support, maybe you need help, maybe you need something. Do the work. Keep the breath as your focus. Do the work and get the support, the tools that you need for success. Breathe. That was our bridge pose in 3 different positions. We're going to step the feet back to a normal, comfortable position if they weren't already there. And now we'll move through the hip sockets. Step the feet wide off of the edge of the mat. Breathe. Keep the breath as your focal point. Dorsiflex the ankles. This will help us to position the knee joint in such a way to create space in the joint of the knees, the meniscus. We're going to slowly begin to drop both thighs to the center in this position, holding steady. The feet are wide, and if the knees touch one another, then widen the feet a little bit more. This movement is a moment of internal rotation of your hip sockets. Should not bother the medial part of your knee, and if it does, pull back. We don't want any pressure that's not necessary. Breathe. Some of us are going to stay right here as you inhale and exhale, feeling the sensation of stretch, some through the thighs and the hips, some through the low back. And if it's honorable to your ability to breathe, the right thigh keeps dropping in, the left thigh will drop out to the side. You can stay right here in a moment of external rotation of the left hip, internal rotation of the right. Or some of you who know this will take the left ankle, placing it over the top of the right thigh as you breathe, allowing that right thigh to have a greater stretch with a little overpressure. Breathe. 1. Breathe. 2. We use the breath to help us know how far to push, how much to do. Breathe. 3. We use the breath to give us a clue. Breathe. 4. Of when we are overwhelmed, overstimulated, overworked. Breathe. 5. Keep breathing as you inhale and exhale. Allow, if that left ankle was over the right thigh, allow it to come back to where it started. Fairly wide across away from your right thigh. Breathing as you breathe the thighs back to vertical. Feet are wide, dorsiflex your ankles, and then drop both thighs over to the right if that is honorable to your ability to breathe. Listen carefully. You can stay right here, firm the buttocks. You could invite that right ankle, keep breathing, to rest over the top of the outside of the left thigh. With this gentle overpressure, bring your awareness to complete support as you inhale and exhale, holding your position, breathing, inhaling and exhaling, steady and rhythmic. And then from this position, breathe. 1. Breathe. 2. Breathe. 3. Breathe 4. And breathe 5. Very gently releasing that right ankle if it was over the left. Breathe. Inviting the thighs back to vertical as you inhale and exhale. Holding steady, and now we walk the feet closer to each other. The knees are bent, and we're going to allow the thighs to drop out to each side, holding steady. We press the soles of your feet towards each other. We firm the buttocks. The back of the head presses into the mat, wide fingers and palms. Shimmying the shoulders away from your ears. We're breathing. This is a butterfly press. We're going to press the arms firmly into the mat. Breathe. We're going to press the soles of the feet together firmly. Breathe. We're going to activate the buttock muscles and the rotator muscles of the back of the hips. Breathe. And as you're pressing through the arms, activating the shoulder extensors, breathe. Pressing the head into the mat, activating the cervical extensors, breathe. Pressing the soles of the feet together, and if it honors you, activating more extensors of your spine and your hips. Breathe 1. Some of you will lift the hips off the mat. Breathe 2. You'll know how much to do based upon, breathe 3, your ability to maintain smooth breath. Breathe 4. Never matters how much we do. Breathe 5. Just allow yourself to keep breathing while you're doing it. Slowly lowering your hips back down onto the mat as you inhale and exhale. Releasing the hips down, breathing. Inhale and exhale. We allow the thighs to come back to vertical as you inhale and exhale. Keep the breath as your priority. The knees are bent. We're going to allow that right thigh to now cross way over your left thigh. And as you squeeze the thighs together, we create that muscular engagement. Engaging the muscles of the inner thighs helps to release and relax the muscles at the outer thigh. This is an important process of using our muscles to help to encourage greater mobility in some areas and greater strength in others. Keep breathing. Keep squeezing the thighs together, and if it's honorable to you while you're breathing, drop both thighs over towards the left. You'll go as far as you can breathe. Look over the right shoulder. Feel that sensation, the rotation of your torso. Inhale and exhale. 1. Notice the sensation of the ribs and the abdomen. Breathe 2. That it is not easy for them to move in the breathing right now. Breathe 3. Do the best that you can as you inhale and exhale. Breathe 4. Feeling the sensation. Breathe 5. Of this breath that is so important. As you inhale and exhale, we slowly, as you're breathing, bring the thighs back to center. Gently uncrossing that right thigh as you inhale and exhale, and now taking the left thigh, crossing it way over the right thigh and squeezing. Create that activation of your inner thigh muscles as you're breathing. That in itself is good practice, where we learn how to create force without changing the breath. Oftentimes when we do this, create force, we disconnect and we don't realize, we're connected to our breath and our force. We don't realize that we begin to hold the breath. Firming the muscles through the thighs, inner thighs, dropping if it honors your ability to breathe. Drop the thighs to the right, look over the left shoulder, and breathe 1. And yes, breathing is not nearly as easy in this position. Breathe 2. The rib cage, the abdomen is twisted. Breathe 3. But this is an opportunity. Breathe 4. Only twist or turn as far as you can. Breathe 5. For gradually our structures will learn to be more malleable, to be more effective in their motion, following our breath first and encouraging the breath to be a primary focus. When you're ready, inhale and exhale, invite the thighs back to center. Inhale and exhale, uncross that left thigh, bringing ourselves back to an opportunity for the bridge posture. This time we use the bridge, feet parallel, anchor through those feet, hip distance apart. This time we'll take the arms skyward. We reach the fingertips to the ceiling, stretching as we move the shoulders down. This is important. The shoulders want to be up to their ears. And I'm going to ask you to shimmy the shoulders away from your ears. Breathe. Now we're going to extend the wrist, and it seems in this position that you would be pushing the ceiling away from you, holding here. Breathe. Keeping the wrist in that extended position, bend the elbows. And as the elbows bend, those palms are beginning to move towards the mat. If possible, see if you can get the palms to rest right alongside either your shoulders or your head, remembering that if the fingers or the hands are far over your head this way, meaning distance-wise, it might not be possible to get the hands palms flat. But gradually, as you have the motion to bend your elbows enough, slowly, and if the wrists will join us for this adventure, eventually the palms will begin to settle. Now, wide thumbs, wide fingers, do the best you can. Breath is the first thing. If your palms are on the mat, then push the palms into the mat, hold. If you're feeling comfortable right here, firm the buttocks as you're pressing the hands into the mat, hold, breathe. If you're feeling comfortable, the shoulders stay on the mat, but we lift the hips, hold, breathe. You might notice that when you lift the hips, things might be easier at your upper quadrant. Breathe, 2. We actually did this in a reverse manner that was a test. Breathe, 3. Inhaling and exhaling, push the hands into the mat, and some of you over time will keep the head lightly on the mat and slightly lift the shoulders even off of the mat. Breathe, 4. Over time, there's no rush, and breathe, 5. We keep the hands firmly pressing into the mat as in the hips lower down. Breathe. We inhale and exhale, slowly release the arms. Take the wrists and the hands and circle the wrists. Breathe. As you inhale and exhale, open and close the hands. Breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. And then slowly releasing down now. We're preparing now for our gentle inversion. And this inversion is an opportunity to position the spine in such a way that gets you somewhat upside down. So if you have the opportunity using a blanket, you can take a rolled up blanket or some pillows, take them to place them underneath your pelvis, your hips. Wherever you are, breathing, lift the hips up and take the blanket underneath you. And this is our supported legs up the wall posture. You might want to feel the lower back slowly or relaxing gently down off of the mat, and you're just holding steady and breathing in this position. You can stay right here as you inhale and exhale, or while you're changing position, keep breathing. Draw the right knee into your chest. Draw the left knee up into your chest. This gentle inversion, this position where the hips are slightly higher than your chest, is good practice. You could stay right here as you breathe with the knees into your chest. Some of you will straighten the right leg up in the air, straighten the left leg up in the air, holding steady, breathing, allowing your head and your shoulders and your arms to relax. This is our supported legs up the wall posture. Allow your arms to rest right alongside your body. Let yourself just be. No effort, for the legs to stay up. And if for any reason it's work that, especially if it alters your ability to breathe, but if it's work to keep the legs in the air, then just change the position. Take them to where you can breathe, where you're not working hard. And that's one of the reasons we use the blankets. When the pelvis is lifted up onto the blanket, you don't have to work hard to keep the legs up in the air. For the majority of us, we just let them stay. Feel your breath. Inhale and exhale. This is an opportunity to look at our feet right now as you're breathing. And the feet, in my experience, are a wonderful window into our health. The feet are the furthest away, the toes are especially the furthest away from your heart and the circulatory, the major pumping mechanism of your arteries and veins. And the toes of the feet are the furthest away from your brain, the central part of your nervous system. So when your skin of your feet get a little bit different, when the toes are not pink, when they're pale, or when the nail beds are changing, there's an indication. Yes, I did say it. When the nail beds are rough, when the nail beds are challenged, that's an indication of changes in your systems. These are very subtle, but please do not ignore them. Take a moment every day, keep breathing, to inspect your toes and your nail beds, to inspect the bottom of your feet. Let's make circles right now with the ankles as you're breathing. To take a moment to actively remove your shoes, circle in the opposite direction. Just the basic act, keep breathing, of circling the ankles and extending and flexing the toes. Rest the feet, flex the toes, extend the toes. These basic acts can have the potential, they have the potential to positively influence your circulatory system and your nervous system. Breathe now very gently. Bend the knees and allow the knees to drop into your chest as you inhale and exhale. Place one foot down onto the mat and then the other onto the mat. Slowly lift your hips up off the blanket. Let the blanket rest. For those of you who choose, your blanket might rest behind your thighs. I will place mine behind my knees. This is the time for your aromatherapy if you have it. Right before we move into our final resting position, if you have your aromatherapy, place a drop along on your palm. If you don't have any essential oils, next time you do our practice, bring along a lime or a lemon or an orange and just take a little portion of the peel and rub that peel just like you would rub the palms together. Rub that peel between your palms and then gradually getting that essential oil on your skin. Breathe in the essence of your essential oil. Allow yourself to drop now, gently releasing arms and letting your arms and legs drop off, letting them be supported by your surface, your mat. Feel the sensation of the breath as you inhale and exhale. No effort, no work, but we bring our awareness to maintaining our body in completely supported position without the need to keep any muscular effort, releasing and relaxing the toes, the feet, the ankles, releasing and relaxing the legs and the thigh muscles, releasing and relaxing the pelvis, the hips and spine, releasing and relaxing the abdomen, the rib cage, the chest, and all of the internal organs, letting go of all effort, just allowing the breath to continue to do its massage on your body, releasing and relaxing and breathing, allowing the neck and the shoulders and the arms, forearms, wrists and hands to release and relax, breathing slowly and steadily, inhaling and exhaling, allowing the head, the muscles on your face, the muscles over your eyes, your cheeks, your mouth, and your chin, the muscles over your neck, allowing everything to drop, feeling the sensation of complete support while your breath is moving ever so gently. You're breathing, inhaling and exhaling, completely supported. Just allow yourself to be. Breathe in, breathe out. listening to the sound, the bell, this chime, bringing your awareness so slowly back into the space that you are in. Slowly moving fingers, toes, circling wrists, hands, and ankles. Stretching the arms now and the legs away from your center. Breathe. Gently bend the knees. Slowly roll onto your side. And come into the seated position. Taking your time. Moving mindfully. Moving with your breath. This is the practice that we are working upon. We're working on recognizing the moments when we are holding our breath. We're working on making that connection, learning how to recognize these moments is a powerful, powerful opportunity. To do this will allow you to reduce your body's systems, your nervous system's experience of stress. And we're all familiar with the reports. Stress is very important. Stress gets us up in the morning. Stress gets us active and going. So it's not a full-blown enemy. Without stress, we do not survive. Too much unmitigated stress wreaks havoc on our nervous system, wreaks havoc on our internal organ system. And yes, unmitigated, uncontrolled stress, anxiety, depression, these things can challenge an otherwise healthy system. We have everything that we need within us. And that doesn't mean we don't need outside source of support, but it starts from within. You have everything that you need. Start by noticing the power of the breath, this gift that you've been given. We close with one long, strong Om. Inhale. Inhale, reach the arms skyward, gently place the palms together, move them past the mind's eye, drop them down to the heart center. Blessings to each of you. Thank you for allowing me to serve you in this practice. Thank you for serving and honoring yourself. One breath-centered movement, awareness practice at a time. Namaste. Good work. Yay. Happy Tuesday. We did it.